Huntsville and Orange Beach. I know it's a terrible life. Yeah, but you know, I started out as a high school coach in Alabama. I helped start the program at Faulkner back in 2004 when they started the program at Faulkner. Was a high school head coach in the state for a brief season, and then I got back into college ball, and I've coached everywhere from D3, junior college, all the way to FBS and to pro football. You know, I was on the staff with Coach Clark at UAB in 14 when they shut the program down, and before I went to Canada, I was with Chad Morris at SMU, who the OC was Joe Craddock, who's the OC at Troy now, a really good friend of mine. But just a little bit brief about me. The last 6 years, I was in Saskatchewan with Saskatchewan Rough Riders. I took the job at Edmonton this December, and it was actually from the guy that's brought me into the league. So excited to talk to you today, and glad to be here before I got to head back up to where it's negative 30. All right, so just real quick, you know, I think it's important to have an offensive line philosophy. If you're coaching running backs, have a running back philosophy, this and that, because it gives your guys a clear-cut direction, right? There's no gray area, right? And our base offensive philosophy, whether I was at UAB, whether if I was in Saskatchewan, whether I'm in Edmonton, is we're going to have a fundamentally sound teach progression from the ground up, right? If it doesn't have a fundamentally sound teach progression from the ground up, we're not going to do it, right? I got when I was coaching college football, young GAs coming in there all the time, or quality control guys drawing shit up on paper, like, hey, what do you think about this RPO, this run, this and that, and show it to me against the worst look we can see, right? Everything we do is going to have a fundamentally sound teach progression from the ground up, but the most important thing in our room is our style of play, okay? Is our style of play. I'm a big fundamental guy. Like, even though it's pro football, you got two trains of thought guys are just scheme guys, right? But I'm a fundamentally sound coach, and that starts from my time in high school football. And this is in our room in Edmonton, it's in our room in Sask when we talk about our style of play. It starts with toughness and physicality. Okay? All right, next thing we talk about speed and balance. Playing fast and physical off the football can make up for a lot of shit. Right? So speed and balance. We talk about sprinting to hit all the time. Right? When I'm not talking about elongating our steps, right? We're talking about total places heel, right? We're talking about, like Coach was talking about, generating force through the ground. Okay, the more force I can create through the ground, the more force I'm gonna put into the defender. Okay, the next thing we talk about is relentless fitness, right? We want relentless fitness, and that's about effort, right? And then we're the ultimate protectors, right? We do not let anybody mess with our players, right? If somebody takes a cheap shot on our quarterback, I'm okay with getting a 15-yard penalty. Right? Somebody takes a cheap shot on our receivers. We're going to protect our guys, right? We're going to be the ultimate protector, right? We're going to chase the football, right? We're going to push the pop, right? So our style of play is more important than any technique that we teach, okay? All right? This is in my room as well. Three things that got to happen on every block, right? Eyes up. I think the eyes are the most undercoached thing for an offensive lineman, right? We spend a lot of time training their eyes, okay? All right, hands inside and feet underneath you. Those three things, no matter if it's run or pass, have to happen on every block. Okay, in the run game, whether it's inside zone, outside zone, our vertical gap scheme runs, our man roll runs, our lateral gap scheme runs. We talk about these four things when we install it all the time, right? In our O-line manual. We talk about the approach, which is their footwork and the aiming point, their contact, the follow through, and the finish, right? Okay, the approach is just the correct footwork, right? Okay, all right, and the correct aiming point. Okay, the next thing is the strike. You know, we teach two-hand blocks, we teach shoulder strikes, we teach one-arm blocks, right? Is what type of strike or fit I got to have in that position, right? Okay, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on all this stuff because I want to get to our lateral power stuff, right? Follow through. I know Coach was talking about not rolling the hips and this and that. Like we were talking about that happy medium, right? If we're not getting any vertical displacement, any movement, we never come out of the hinge position, right? But as we're getting vertical movement, we're going to unleash our hips, right? Because I want to climb the block, I want to take the separation out of the hip, right? So people can't escape the blocks, okay? All right, and the last thing, and this is another point before I go to thing, is we talk all the time about we strike defenders with our hands, but we block them with our legs, right? That's how we block them, right? Hey, finish is about effort, right? It's about effort, and effort. Okay? Now, you know, who runs inside and outside zone in here? Right? We do too. So we run inside and outside gap scheme, right? And I'm going to get into that in a little bit, right? So what we're going to talk about today is our inside gap schemes, our lateral gap scheme family, right? It's our tight A-gap power. This is how we run power read with our quarterback, okay? And this is how we We will run some shovels out of that, but not much, okay? Our lateral stuff, we want lateral movement, right? We're not looking for vertical movement. We're trying to knock people across the football. Okay, in our outside vertical schemes, it's your traditional power, your A-gap out with the tailback, your GT, your GF counter. We run our shovel series a lot off of that. But of course, in our vertical, our outside family, right, we want vertical movement at the point of attack. They kind of have the origin of the play, right? Okay, when I was in Saskatchewan, I used to drive through Fargo twice a year. And before 19, I really didn't know anybody. And I was like, I'm going to get to know somebody there because they do a hell of a job there, right? So I got to know somebody there. And I wanted to go talk about this play because this is what North Dakota State builds their program around. If you ask anybody on defense what they're going to run, they're going to say, we're running lateral power. We're running A-gap power, right? So I got to be real good friends with Coach Roll, offensive coordinator there. And at the time, A.J. Blazek, who's at Vandy now, was the O-line coach. And that's how I kind of came to the play. The reason I went to this, right, is I was looking at, after the 19 season, I was looking for something new and unique, right? Okay, all right, I wanted something that fit what we did already, right, that was different, right, that defenses don't have to fit every week, right? During COVID, I did a 5-year study in the CFL, okay? I wanted to know the percentage of run schemes defenses had to fit, right? Okay, and it was 96, in our league, it was 96% inside zone. 96% inside zone. So I wanted to get more than the 4%, right? Now, we wanted to run some more outside zone and that nature, but I wanted something that defenses are not used to fitting on a daily basis, okay? All right? And I was also looking for something, I was, duck demeanor guy, all that type of stuff. I was looking for something where I could tell my guys and unleash them. Just run off the ball and go, it's like Step Brothers, go screw stuff up, right? All right? I wanted something different where they wasn't all the way doing duck demeanor drills all day long. I was dead set on finding something. Okay, and other teams that run this play, of course, both those guys used to be head coaches at North Dakota State. They still run the concept, but not a lot of people run this. Okay, all right. Conflicts, it causes the defense. Okay, all right. So if it's an interior D lineman to the play side, okay, is it a vertical combos or a lateral combo? Are they trying to knock me vertical off the ball? Or are they trying to wash me across the ball? Okay, all right. To me, they have to play those double teams different, right? Okay? The backside interior D lineman, we see a lot of guys when we're running traditional power or GT schemes, they want to read out with a pulling guard, right? They want to try to read out across the center's face. Well, we're causing conflict because in our lateral scheme, if they want to do that, they just create a huge cutback lane on our tight power, okay? All right, so now when we pull a guard, okay, they run vertical or they run lateral, okay? The next thing, the backside linebacker, what do they want to do nowadays? Pull that double team apart, right? That dude's going to overlap and scrape part of the top. Well, now we're running our tight power. He wants to overlap, create a huge void backside, right? Okay, so now he's got to think. The play side linebacker, you'll see a lot of our clips. I'd say probably 60% of the time we don't block play side linebacker. He fits it wrong by overlapping the kick out, right? So now, if we get this guy holding the bouncing backside, we can start running our vertical, and now we get a great vertical double team on the front side. Okay? All right, the C-gap defender. Okay? Should I box it or spill it? Right? I know a lot of that, it's got to marry with coverage and stuff, but hey, is he kicking me out, right, to run in A-gap to backside A-gap, or now is he going to bounce it on power on the vertical scheme? Okay? And in my opinion, it's the most physical play in football, right? You'll see, it's just my opinion. I'm still a zone guy, but this has become my favorite play in football, right? I went and watched North Dakota State last spring, and they were in team run. They were doing double barrel team run, and it was A-gap power day, and they've got about 60 plays ran in 25-minute team run period, double barrel. And everybody's saying Saving Private Ryan. It looked like the opening scene of Saving Private Ryan. It was the most physical thing I've ever seen in my life. Right, there was just bodies flying everywhere, right? Okay, but this is a physical football play. Okay, overview of lateral power. Okay, like I said, it's our tight power. Okay, this is a true gap scheme run for us. And like I said, we want to get lateral movement at the point of attack. Okay, we're trying to knock people across the football. The two major keys to this play, okay, is lateral displacement of the same point defender. What I call the same point defender is talking about anybody head up the center to the B gap first level. Okay, that's what we call the same point defender. So we got to knock that guy lateral across the ball. Okay? All right? And probably the biggest key is the patience of the pulling guard. Right? Is the patience of the pulling guard. When I show you our clips for our pulling guards, you're probably going to think I got the remote on slow motion. Right? Because it ain't a skip pull, it's a shuffle, slow pull. Okay? That is the patience of the pulling guard is key to this play. Okay? So just showing you who the same point defender is. So we got 4 down front with the 3 technique. That's the only same point defender. We got to get that 3 technique knocked across the ball. Okay? 2-eye. Got to get the 2-eye knocked across the ball. Now we got the Okie front, mid front, whatever you want to call it. We got to get the 0 and the 4-eye knocked across the ball. Okay? Of course, if it's just playing 5 techniques, right, we just got to get the nose knocked across the ball. Okay? That's who the same point defender is. Okay? 5 down front. We see a lot of this front in our league, right? 5 down front with the guy mugged up over the center. A lot of zone buster stunts out of that front for us. The same thing, 0 and 3. Got to get it knocked across the ball. Okay? All right, and this is, we call it the A-gap highway, and I use this on inside zone as well. Right? We want to speed and balance. There is no speed limit. There is no ductometer on this play. Right? We're trying to clear that A-gap highway out. Okay? We're trying to clean everything out of what we call the A-gap highway. All right, so here's you a good picture of it, right? Okay, now we got a DB that's coming down into the box late, but that's a pretty good picture of the A-gap highway, first, second level clear. Okay, all right, same thing, right? A-gap highway's clear. Okay, all right, now overview of the scheme. Okay, all right, there's three rules we give them, right? First thing you got to know is it lateral or vertical gap scheme, right? Well, we know it's lateral gap scheme. The next thing, am I covered or uncovered? Because that's going to dictate, am I on a 2x2 block or a 1x1 block? Everything we teach is based on 2x2 and 1x1 blocks. Okay? All right, the next thing is take care of the bigs. Okay, our oh shit rule on the front side. Okay, they can line up in a defense that we've never seen before, right? They can move stem late, inside gap, man on the inside lineman to the backside linebackers. Their oh shit rule on the front side. Okay? Key concepts. Everything we do in our scheme is, and it might sound elementary, is I heard somebody say earlier, it might have been you, Coach, about the 6 most dangerous players, right? We do the same thing, because there can only be 6 box players. I don't care what personnel you line up in, what formations, what defense I line, it can only be 6 box players, right? There can only, and that's where we start. Who are the 6 box players, okay? All right? Then we're going to ID the front, right? We don't mic declare, we point declare everything, right? Which is the same, right? It's a -1 declare scheme for us. We're pointing the first linebacker backside of the center. Okay? All right, we say pass 0 is how we say it. Okay? All right, pull and guard key concept. Okay? This guy's the ultimate corrector. He's got to make everything right. That's why I said his patience is key, right? He's the ultimate corrector. He's responsible for making the A-gap, right? He's got to, if the A-gap's not open, he's got to make it open. Okay? All right? He's also got to secure the kick out. All right, and clean up anybody that got spilled, okay, is what his job is. All right, he has to get enough depth to clear the adjacent lineman. And like I said, it's a shuffle pull. And yes, if I would show you the diagram on paper, right, versus every front, who he's got on a piece of paper, you can take that and wipe your rear with it, right? Because like I said, a lot of times we don't even like the front side linebacker. On paper, he has the front side linebacker, but he has whoever shows up in the A-gap is how we teach it. But on paper, that's not where the game's won, okay? And he cannot get spilled. Okay, talking about the pull a little bit, like, it is a straight back. It's not a skip, and I don't care what foot starts it for him, right? I just tell him to get about 1.5 yards of depth, yard to 1.5 yards of depth. If I'm the left guard, I don't care if the right foot starts it or the left foot starts it. My first 2 steps got to be straight back, and I got to get enough depth, okay? And then it's a pause. Right? A lot of our guys want to go back, and go straight into the shuffle. No, it's a back, pause, into a slow shuffle. Okay? Into a slow shuffle. Okay? He reads the play side hip of the tackle for his entry point, right? Okay? Excuse me. All right, so eyes are on the play side tackle's hip, right? But he's never going to pass up any open grass when he passes the center's back block. Never passes any open grass. Okay? All right, and there's 4 entry point options, okay? All right, and the big thing on that pull, a good coaching point is when he finds that entry point, I want him to plant and drive and sprint off his right foot if he's pulling right, left foot if he's pulling left. I want him to plant and really drive vertical into the entry point. Okay, the 4 entry point options. Okay, there's 4, like I said. There's ISO, there's get stuck, stay stuck, double bump, and retrace. So ISO is we got great lateral movement front side. All right, that wave is riding. We're knocking people across the ball. That tackle is getting great lateral movement. So boom, he's knocked that guy past where the center snapped the ball. I'm going to plant and drive and insert tight off his hip. Okay, all right, for the play side linebacker in that scenario, right, and I cannot get spilled. Okay, get stuck, stay stuck's this. Okay, I tell our guys, because we run some duo, I tell them to think duo. So if let's say we're running a deuce on the front side versus a 3 technique, and they get no lateral movement, they get stuck. That guy hunkers down, we get no lateral movement. It turns into duo for them, right? So on duo, they're going to work that combo up vertical to the linebacker that's over them, right? So a get stuck, stay stuck is what that scenario is for us. So any get stuck, stay stuck for scenario is the A-gap should be wide open, all right? So the guard sees that hip did not move at all. I'm inserting in the A-gap and my eyes snap back to the backside linebacker on a get stuck, stay stuck scenario, okay? The next is double bump, okay? All right, so there's 2 scenarios for double bump. It could be our tackles in a 1-by-1 block, right? And he gets no lateral movement in the B-gap, okay? So now I'm gonna double bump that color, right? I'm gonna clear that color out of the A-gap or B-gap. I'm gonna knock it back across, okay? The other double bump scenario is this. The kick out got spilled and lost, right? I gotta clean it up, right? So I'm gonna double bump through work to work, okay? That's double bump, okay? And we'll see all this stuff on tape. And the last is retrace, right? This is one actually North Dakota State stole from me this past year. And if you've ever seen that clip from Kansas State versus Oklahoma a couple years ago, well, that guy just did that shit on his own. They weren't teaching it. But I saw it come up on our film because I don't want that guy to skate around the kick out, right? So if he cannot make the A-gap by double bumping through opposite color, he just goes back to where he comes from, right? And if it's a retrace, right, then if he goes back to where he comes from, now he pins and wheels and U-turns the backside linebacker. Okay, and I'll show, it'll make more sense on tape. Okay? So here's your ISO entry point. Look at, you'll see this clip on tape. We had a 5 down front with a 0 and 3 technique, and look where those guys are, right? Hey, that is an ISO scenario. We got great lateral movement. We knocked the same point defender across the ball. He inserts tight and same foot, same shoulder technique, can't get spilled, okay? Here's your get stuck, stay stuck, right? They got no lateral movement. The tackle's hip's not what? It's not moving. His play side hip's not moving. So it turns into duo for them now, right? And a lot of times on get stuck, stay stuck, we're going to block that guy because he overlaps the kick out, right? But they think in their mind, same as teaching, a get stuck, stay stuck scenario turns into duo for us, okay?
So hey, pre-snap on that with that 3 technique. They're thinking before the snap still.
Yes, yes, okay. Yes. But this is actually this is the playoff game from 2021. This was the 4th time we played them suckers that year. So we knew going into that game that any 3 technique, there's a high likelihood they were going to not make us get stuck, stay stuck, right? But yes, they're thinking, initially we're trying to knock that dude off the ball, right? We're trying to clear him out of the A-gap highway, right?
I watched Bart Miller one time talking about.
Yeah, he runs it. Yeah.
And he talks on that 3 technique. Get vertical, but I also have AJ or Coach Beliza. They teach lateral even.
Yeah. And we used to teach when they got stuck to the guard disengage right now to go to the backside linebacker, or you could do this. I said the hell with the or. We're just going to get stuck, stay stuck. To me, we did both, and this worked out better for us. Yeah. So that's a get stuck, stay stuck scenario. Here's your double bump right here. Our tackle got stuck on a 3 technique on a 1-by-1 block. So now it's his job to double bump, right? He wants to double bump through work to work, okay? Kick out loss. If you see 41 right here, he's letting this guy beat him across his face. Now it's the guard's job to what? Secure the kick out. He can't get spilled, so he's going to double bump through work to work, okay? Here's your retrace. This is before we actually started teaching it. This is in the West semifinal in 2021. Okay, you can see it. There's a wreck in the A-gap. There's a wreck. The kick out's getting spilled. He's getting his ass kicked, right? We used to teach to skate around it. Well, I'm like, if I wanted him to skate, I'll just run vertical power, right? So now I think by retracing it puts those guys in even more conflict on the other side of the ball. So right here, there's a wreck in the A-gap highway. I go back to where I came from for 34.
And
Okay?
look for the linebacker, the linebacker.
The backside linebacker on that. Retraces for the backside linebacker.
Gotcha. Yes.
And it'll tie into the back here in a second. So our fullback, our kick-out player, okay? All right? Because we're a gun team. Like, we'll get under center. Like, people think I'm crazy because CFL is a passing league. Everybody's in the shotgun. When I line up in the Maryland eye, people think I lost my mind, right? We'll line up in the Maryland eye, and they ain't seen it probably since 1940 in Canada. They think it's an illegal formation problem, right? Hey, but we'll line up in the Maryland eye, run this. We'll get some eye and run this, right? And some short yardage situation. But when we're in the gun, we're mostly in the gun, okay? That guy's rule is, because in the CFL, everybody can damn move, right? Everybody can move, right? His job is he's going to be 3.5 yards deep, right? With his inside foot splitting the crotch of the play side guard. He's going to be in that sniffer position, right? He's going to be in that sniffer position, okay? And guys, you know this. We have auxiliary plays that we run off this thing, but I'm telling you, I do it all the time. We give defense coaches too much credit at times. Sorry, coach, I heard you coach on defense, but hey, they got to get a call, right? They got to make all their pre-snap checks, right? Okay, and then worry about what they're doing, right? So we're 3.5 yards deep, like I said. He's got one rule. His job is to kick out the C-gap, can't get spilled, right? His job is to kick out the C-gap, okay? He wants to build a wall using the same foot, same shoulder techniques. And it's the same thing, I overcoached this guy a little bit in 2021. And then after that season, I was at North Dakota State with Tyler, and we were going through all our pound clips from that past year. And he was like, you're overcoaching. Speed and balance and run. Speed and balance, speed and balance, speed and balance, don't overcoach it, right? Okay, so same foot, same shoulder technique. He wants to strike on the rise, right? He wants his play side knee to the crotch of the defender, right? Can't get spilled, right? Okay? Now I will say this, you'll see on some of our clips that people know we're running this play. I really don't give a shit, right? People know we're running, sometimes that guy gets in that position, I don't care, right? Speed and balance, speed and balance, speed and balance. We're trying to put body blows on these guys, man. We're trying to wear these guys out. Like I said, we're a passing league, right? I'm trying to wear these pass rushers out, right? I'm trying to wear them out, right? There's times you'll see, and our fullback was pretty smart. This guy was spilling them so hard in the game, he fell into it. He turned it into a 1-by-1 down block and ran the guy past A-gap highway. And we still got it, and our puller treated as an ISO situation. And I was like, shit, that's them guys being self-correctors on the field. They know they got to clean the A-gap up. I got spilled. He's in a good angle. He just watched him past the center, which was great about that guy. And now we also run double pound. Okay, if we run double pound, we'll run it out of the Maryland eye. We'll run it out, coach, like a formation you show with the two guys stacked out of the gun, right? If we tag double pound, the second guy, okay, that's a part of the pound scheme, his job is to create the double bump with the kick out. He wants to insert inside the kick out guy, force a double bump, and block any unblocked color second to third level. If we tag double pound, we'll see that on tape as well. Okay, if we ever attach a tight end play side, okay, his job is to block front side edge pressure, flash to double bump. Okay, so if there's no immediate threat of edge pressure by a non-box player, okay, he's going to flash that guy like he's down blocking. And then he's going to double bump. He wants to affect the lowest, widest DB and end up on the highest, tightest DB in the box, right? Because where's the play going? Front side A-gap and come back play, right? And the easiest way for the tailback is it's like inside zone for him. He's front side A-gap back on this play, right? Okay? So his job is to double bump, right? If we ever attach a tight end backside, he's just going edge pressure to double bump, right? To double bump on the backside. He wants to affect the lowest, widest, and end up on the highest, tightest, right? So wide receivers rules, we push crack on this. We really, because our guys can move, we call them sledge rules, but down here I put push crack because that's what, we would do that if I was back down south. We would push crack. We wouldn't make corners tackle, right? Okay? Unless we've got an RPO tag, and I don't like tagging RPOs on this play because I want the ball handed off, right? So the tailback, right? So if he's offset gun, he's same side, right? He's same side, okay? All right, and he's just shuffling. The key point, just like we do in inside zone, he does not move and start his footwork till the quarterback catches the snap, right? Quarterback catches the snap, I shuffle in, okay? All right, if I'm in the pistol, it's just lateral 1-2, short 2 lateral steps to get me going downhill, okay? All right, his rule, okay, he cannot get outside the inside leg of the pulling guard. He has to stay inside that leg, okay? And it's an A-gap to cut back play for him. Now there's times, right, when it's cloudy in there, man. It's cloudy. I go back to, I call it the Days of Thunder's rule, man. That's probably the best movie that guy's ever been in right there, man. Days of Thunder, right? Where, you know, they're on the turn, they're trying in the last race right there in the Daytona, and he's trying to get him to trust it. Just blow through the smoke and trust you're going to come out clean on the other side, right? So what we tell the tailback, if it's ever cloudy, Days of Thunder's rule, man, blow through the smoke and trust you're going to come out clean on the other side, okay? All right, quarterback rules, he's just going to, if he's offset gun, going to open to the call. Pistol, he's going to reverse out unless we've called a special tag on it and make sure he carries out his fake, okay? All right, footwork description, right? So if he's covered, okay, we teach a T-board step, a settle lift, or, you know, Coach Manali calls it a little jab hop, right? Okay, all right, I call it a settle lift because I really want him to settle step and lift the defender up, right? Okay, and we teach a gap step. Okay, a skate step is really just a brace step where I'm just getting my hips and shoulders in line, right? It's just boom, I want to get it in the ground, setting my hip angle, right, to sprint the hit right there.
Coach,
yes, sir.
What position were you playing when you just did that? Were you like left?
I was like a right tackle.
Right.
Yeah, on the deuce. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He take the uncovered guy in the combo, which we'll get into a lot, is he always skate steps if he's in a 2x2 block.
Gotcha.
Right. Okay. Our aiming points, right? Okay. So a lot, you know, because we're trying to get lateral movement, our post guys, we don't single under or flipper this a lot because I want him to go ahead and have 2 hands into it. I'm okay if that guy gets 2 hands into it, right? He will transition to a single under or a flipper, and that's one thing, guys, like I've taught both, and in pro football, I like having certain things that are negotiable with my guys, right? Because I got a guy that just got done playing for me. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, right? That guy's played a lot of football, 10-time, league all-star, right? And I value their opinion. They played a lot of football. They're smart guys. And one of the negotiables I have, because I don't care if they single under or flipper, if that's what we're doing. I just want their shoulder below the defender's shoulder, right? Okay. All right. Which we'll transition to in that get stuck, stay stuck, right? Okay. The trail guy in the combo, he's shoulder striking to the hip. You see this picture right here. He's too damn high, right? But he wants to make contact with his near shoulder to the rib cage of the defender, and his backside hand goes to the hip. So these are the strikes that we use, okay?
You ever gallop?
Not on this, we do on gap. We do on our vertical, not on our lateral, because we're trying to set that angle to knock that guy across the ball. We're trying to run, right? Okay? So center points of emphasis for loopers, right? Okay? Because we still see a lot of it, okay? If he's blocking back to a 3 technique or a 2 out and a 4 down front, we leave the looper for the puller. We leave the looper for the puller, and versus 4 down fronts, he stays on track and goes to the backside linebacker. Okay? All right, versus mid fronts. He leaves them for the looper, and he U-turns for the play side linebacker. Okay? All right, same thing versus 5 down fronts. Right? If the backside 3 wants to loop, as that center's blocking back, he goes and U-turns to the high linebacker that's in the box. Okay? Those are any questions on that? I know I'm going pretty fast. I want to get some tape for you guys. All right, play side tackle points of emphasis before we get into our 1x1 and 2x2s. And here's the key now, guys. Even if we got a 3 down front, okay, whether he's a 4-eye or 5, okay, we still teach our play side tackle. He's aiming at the near hip of the nose. All right, so if he's a 5 technique, I'm still aiming at the hip of the nose because I'm making sure that nose gets cleared out of the A-gap. There's be times on our clips we got 3 guys on the nose. Right? That's his job. We got to clear the same point defender out of the A-gap. Okay? So 4-eye, right in the mid-front. Okay? We're still aiming, running off the ball at the near hip of the nose. If that guy crosses my face, I'm going to block him and watch him across the ball. If he's on my backside pad, I'll leave him for the kick out. And I'm still aiming at the near hip of the nose. Okay? Anytime we got a deuce and the 3 loops out, we leave them. Either the puller's gonna make us right or the kick out's gonna make us right. We stay on our track, right? We stay on our track. And if he does loop out, I'm still aiming at the near hip of the next down before I even worry about the linebacker, right? All right, backside tackle points of emphasis, right? And this is key. This ain't your, some people call it a B-gap pick, gap seal funnel, alley hinge, whatever you want to call it, like on traditional power. This guy's just as much important as anybody on the field, right? Because it's a what? A-gap to backside A play. So this ain't he's got to be on his P's and Q's here, right? So we're still going to step down and protect the B-gap, right? But then I teach it just like I would a 1-by-1 block on the front side of the inside zone. It turns into an inside via the neck drive block for that guy. He wants to expand that guy, right, and make the B-gap bigger, right? Okay, so I step down, no B-gap threat, boom! I'm running inside via the neck drive block just like he would on the front side of the inside zone. Okay, all right. All right, now how I teach the 1-by-1 blocks. Okay, I teach it as a 2, and I teach the 1-by-1 blocks the exact same on our lateral scheme as we do our vertical scheme. Okay, all right, our 1-by-1 blocks, I teach it as a 2-phase block. Okay, the first phase is I got to stop and eliminate penetration. Okay, all right, the second phase is I got to stop the cross phase, right? Okay, so we want the head across the bow on the first phase, reset our hat to the fat of the back on the second phase. Okay, all right, key concept, how we teach the footwork and aiming points is based on if he's on my body or off my body. Okay, all right, you'll see abbreviated in some of the clips I'll bring up. OTB is on the body, OFTB is off the body. Okay, all right, because that changes his aiming point and it changes his footwork a little bit, whether he's on my body or off the body. Okay, so now talking about our 1-by-1 blocks. Okay, if he's on my body. Okay, all right, my first step is a T-board step. Boom. It's really the same thing as a skate step. Boom. I'm just here. I just call the skate step for the trail guy, right? Okay, and I want that first step aimed at the face mask. Now let me tell you this, and I was a dumbass. I used to teach it as he wants to go step on the down hand. But then as you're watching film, I'm like, well, shit, this guy's got this hand down. He's got his near hand down. This guy's got his backside hand down. So that makes 0 sense to me. So that's why we changed it. I'm stepping right at the face mask, right? We're stepping right at the face mask, okay? All right, my aiming point is the inside via the neck, kind of like Coach was talking about earlier, right? Okay, my aiming point is the inside via the neck, okay? All right, I want a double underfit. I want my inside hand to freaking uppercut the sternum, okay? I want my backside hand on the fat of the back, okay? All right, and like I said, like Coach was talking about earlier, if we don't dent the guy, we never come out of the hip hitch. But if we're getting movement, we're rolling our damn hips and running our feet, right? We're running our rolling the hips and running the feet. I use the term search the hips, run the feet. Okay, all right. And finish is all about effort, like we talked about. Okay, but the key thing is what? Step at the face mask. Second step at the near hip. The inside hand to the sternum. Backside hand to the fat of the back. Okay. Okay. If he's off my body. Okay. All right. If he's off my body. Okay. Now, okay, I'm still taking the first step. I still want to aim it at the down hand. At the face mask, right? My second step wants still to go to the near hip, okay? But it changes my aiming point. I'm aiming now for the near shoulder pad. Because he's off my body, I'm not going via the neck anymore. I'm going near shoulder pad. Okay, I'm going near tip of that shoulder pad for my aiming point. Okay, now instead of my inside hand going to the sternum, it's going to the near numb. Okay, it's the near numb. The backside hand still goes to the fat of the back. Okay, all right. So like I said, it changes. If he's off my body, near number, fat in the back, aiming points, the near shoulder pad now. Okay? Key points if I'm blocking a linebacker, surround him with your feet, right? We want to strike low to high, we want to lift the force up and off of us, okay? All right? We use the same term, block them how you found them, right? If you find them square, we want to be nose to nose, giving the screws to screws, giving the back a two-way go, right? If he's backside, it's an off the body, 1-by-1 down block angle. Right? If he's over the top, I'm U-turning. Okay, I'm U-turning. All right. Let me do this real quick. I forgot to put my overlay up. All right, now here's some examples of, we'll just roll with that overlay. All right, so we're all in 1-by-1 scenarios right here. We got what we ID is a 5 down front. That we ID fronts based on family. Everything for us is in a 4 down, 3 down, or 5 down family. Okay, so we ID this as a 5 down family. Okay, the left tackle and the left guard, right, are in 1x1 blocks right here. Okay, so let's look at the 1x1 blocks first. Okay, so the left guard is in an off the body 1x1 block. Okay, and I would say the left tackle is in more on the body 1x1 block. Okay, and what are we trying to? We got to knock those guys where? Across from where the center snapped the ball. Okay, watch the left guard right here. Right, watch him lift force up and off of him. Right, that to me that you can't get any better on 1x1 down blocks right there. Right, they knock him across the ball. Right, the guard did a bad job of he should be tighter up the hash right here, hugging the paint. Same foot, same shoulder, can't get spilled. Now the tailback right here, like this guy was our Swiss Army knife guy, right? And we actually motioned our tailback out of the backfield, brought him back in on this play. What's his one rule? Don't get outside the inside leg of the pulling guard. We got a tight end backside. What's his job? To double bump. He's got to affect that guy and then end up on 5, right? Watch if 27 right here, who actually in his contract had bonuses for every touchdown he scored, right? If he stays inside leg of the pulling guard, what happens? He had $500 bonus. Yeah. But because he knows better and got outside the inside leg of the pulling guard, we got to run another damn play, right? But if you see it right there, great examples of 1x1 down blocks, right? The puller, I want him to pause. That's why he's so wide and got spilled, because he didn't pause after the back of the skip pull. He went straight into the shuffle after the back. Okay? If he has more patience and slower, he's able to plant and drive tighter to the down blocks. Okay?
What are your splits?
We're about 18 inches. Now, we're not as deep as we were when I was coaching college football, because there's a 1 yard neutral zone in the CFL, D-line a yard off the ball, so we don't want deep vertical splits, but we're about 18 inches with flush splits. Okay? All right, next clip right here.
Coach, can you talk about your pulling guard?
Yep. Yeah, so right now he wants to get depth, right? And like I said, I don't care which foot starts. I just want him to get depth, back, and pause, right? Pause, and now he's a slow shuffle.
What's he looking at?
He's looking at the hip to play side tackle, right? If the wave is riding, he's in that ISO situation, right? Okay, if the wave's not riding, it's either going to be get stuck, stay stuck, or that double bump, which I got clips of all those.
Right. On that pulling guard, how are you getting? Is there a timing mechanism, or how are you?
It's a feel thing. They just get to
Yes, you work that repetition.
Yeah. I tell them all the time is always be a half count longer than you damn think. You know what I mean? Because that was the biggest thing with the first year when we ran this play is slowing those guys down, right? Really, and they'll get used to it, right? Because we work this a lot, right? We're back, and just pause, just pause. All right. Now, another 1x1 scenario, right? Just showing you all the 1x1 stuff before we get into our combos. Okay? So right here, we got to get 56 in the nose, knocked across the ball. Okay? 1x1 blocks. Now here, and they started doing this at home, which I don't mind. Right? So right now, if you look at the tackle, he ain't getting no lateral movement. He's too high, footwork's up, right? And right now, he's stuck. Right? So right now it's probably a double bump scenario. But if you watch him, because he's a guy that played for me since 2017, right? And he understands where the ball's going, he just U-turns. Because he knows the ball's going inside of him. So watch him just kind of U-turn him on his own. Right? And they started doing that. I didn't have to coach them to do that. Right? They understand the concept of the play, right? And he's a smart player and understands his balls ain't got the backside, they got shit, let me just U-turn this guy. And he does. Boom, I U-turn him, right? What did I tell the puller? Never bypass grass in the A-gap, right? Okay, now, don't get spilled. I hate how he turns right there, right? Okay, boom. Surround him with your feet, strike low to high, can't get spilled, right? He gets enough of them, right? But if you watch right here, man, 49 was a backside 3 technique, and just the nature of this block right here helps the back block of the center. Right? It helps the back block. And I tell my guys, you'll see on some clips where if a guy's getting great movement and you're not getting none, you better watch the hell out because you're about to get rolled up on. Right? So your ass better get moving. Yeah, and you know, and tailback's rule, can't get outside the inside leg of the pulling guard. Boom, I know I gotta cut back right now. I gotta get back to the inside of that leg, right? Natural cutback. Now right here, trust your speed. He can outrun that guy. Trust your speed. He wouldn't have got the dang stiff arm grab right there. This play right here, he ought to send me some of the damn money he just got saved. All right, so now watch them. They're actually, we're running pound to the right, left, excuse me. They're going to loop 44. They're trying to read out. They got D-line to standing up. Think they're going to be smart, right? So they loop. Watch our center U-turn. He's U-turning for the high guy now. Leave the looper for who? The puller. He's the ultimate corrector. Still can't get spilled, right? I really don't know why people like to loop against it. I really don't. Because you're creating the big gap when we want to run the football. But they've been trained for so long, vertical gap schemes, let's read out with a pull and guard because the ball's going front side A, B to C, right, on true vertical gap scheme, right? So now, like I said, we run vertical gap schemes, right? So we're putting them in conflicts. I'm going to get through some of these. All right, now they got 5 bigs in the game. They kick the nose to the front side of our fullback. I don't give a shit. Right? 1-by-1 down blocks. We don't get much movement. We don't. Right? Kick out's okay. Right? Patience of the pulling guard. He read it as an ISO. Get back. Can't get spilled. Hit it tight. This is one where we wish it forward a blind. He's from McAdory. Kyron Moore. Hell of a player. Played also played. I think he was a triple option quarterback at McAdory. He's about 5'5". Now he's a little taller than that. And I tell you what, when that guy walks on the field, his dang nuts dragged the turf. Man, that guy's a ball playing sucker now. I just wish he'd block a little better. But that some gun can do some shit with a bubble. All right, now we're 2nd and 2 right here. We get in the eye, right? They got, if we watch this, get to the end zone. They got about 10 people between the tight ends right here, right? Imagine running inside zone into that right now, right? We don't even block 10. The puller makes it right, ends up on the backside linebacker because we're actually treating 48 as a DB here because they're in a big personnel, right? Okay, so the front side tight end, he's got what? Flash to double bump, right? He's going to affect 6, end up on 8. Same thing on the backside, he's double bumping. Right? But look at the movement we get on the front side.
Your pulling guard doesn't even go anywhere, does it?
Doesn't go anywhere. Doesn't go anywhere. Doesn't go anywhere.
So do you give your back like pre-snap landmarks? So
don't get outside the inside leg of the pulling guard.
Yeah.
Right? He wants to. We tell him, you know, he don't want to. They're tight lateral steps and we're out of the pistol or under center. But he's really wanting to, we try to really tell him to kind of like on inside zone, don't be past the front side hip of the center. But I don't overcoach that.
Yeah.
I tell him, you cannot be outside the inside leg of the pulling guard, right? But a good job on the front side of double bumping by 61 right here, affect 6, and end up on the highest, tightest DB in the box. That's about the only thing that kid did all year. All right, scored a tug. On 2nd and 3, same deal. It's like 2nd and 2 or 3 right here, right? We got to get the 3 technique and the 0 knocked across, right? Watch all that movement, man. Like I'm telling you, it's like I told the tackle right here. If you're lazy with that gap still funny, your ass is getting rolled up. But like I said, to me, it's just a physical football play. We're just trying to knock people across the ball. All right, let's get to some. Last one, then we'll get to some combos, right? So same thing. Here's coach, here's your set you showed earlier, similar, right? Got the 2 guys in the backfield, right? This is 2nd and 4 right here. And understand when I say 2nd and 4, that's like, there's 3 down football in the CFL, right? That's like 3rd down for us, right? So it's 2nd and 4 right here. We got to they want to loop this guy back here, right? They want to loop him. That's fine. Leave him for who? Leave him for the puller. He'll make you right. The center's got a U-turn. Because 61's, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what the hell he's doing, right? But like I said, get these guys knocked across the ball. Don't get spilled. The center should have ended up on 21 on the U-turn, right? He should have ended up on 21 on the U-turn.
Is there anything besides a loop that tells the center to do a U-turn?
The only other thing is if he's engaged and that guy crosses his face after he's engaged, he will U-turn him, right? But no, the only thing that tells him to U-turn second level is the backside back block looper, right? All right, so our 2x2, right? So same thing, got to move the same point defender across the ball, right? Okay, all right, and we do not come off the combo until that guy's knocked across. It ain't no, if they don't knock him across the ball, they should never come off this combo is how we teach it, okay? All right, the post O-lineman, who I call the covered O-lineman, he's got inside gap control with lateral displacement. He wants to think 75-25. What I mean by that, because I teach two different types of vertical gap scheme combos, right? A 50-50 vertical for me would be I take half, he takes half, and we move him vertical off the ball. 75-25 would be this guy's two gapping me, he's trying to compress my midline and flatten me, so I'm taking 75%, the trail guy would take 25%. So it's same ass teaching for that guy, because I want him to go ahead and try to get two hands into it, right? Hey, all right. Like I said, if they get stuck, stay stuck. Turns into duo for him. Okay? Trail guy, he's attacking the near hip of the down lineman. Got to knock him across the football. Okay? I want him to get his near foot when he's running and sprinting to hit. I want him to get his inside foot above the near foot of the guard. Okay? Or the post guy. Okay? All right? I want him stacked above that guy. Okay? And for that guy, it's a 45 on a run to a 90. I guess that'd be a 90. That's what I call it. I guess. You know, I'm from South Alabama. They don't teach us math very well down there, right? So I just call it a 45 to a 90 rule for that guy. Okay, like I said, versus 3 down fronts, he's still aiming at the nose. And understand this, man, is there can only be for a down lineman, there can only be 3 reactions on the snap. If you don't see two gap read techniques, there's only 2, right? That guy can play front side, he can play back side, or he can 2 gap, right? The linebacker can only on this play, he can only do 2 things. He can hold and bounce backside, or he can overlap. Okay? Now, if we're running a vertical scheme, he could fit underneath the down, but on this scheme, he should never fit underneath the down, because why? We're knocking him the down across his face, right? So that's the only 2 things, and that's how we teach his reaction to this. Okay? Here's your 45 to a 90 look, right, where he wants to boom, aim at that near hip. Now, as I'm getting shoulder tip to hip contact, running them across the football. And understand, I took these pictures when I was not the OL coach in Edmonton last year. 60 will not have that shit stance by the day 1 of training camp. I can promise you that. When I called him when I took the job, that's the first thing I said to him. So you got the worst stance in pro football. All right. So our 2x2 combos with a front side shake. Okay. All right. We want to settle lip, but we want to go ahead and get 2 hands into it if I'm the post guy. If I'm 64 right there. Okay. If I'm the trail guy, I'm skate stepping. My aiming point's the near hip of the defender. Okay? My contact point, if I'm that trail guy, is near shoulder to ribs, backside hand to the hip. Okay? Alright? And trail guy, as soon as I feel that trail guy really damn displacing that guy, boom, we're running. Right? We're running. Okay? We gotta knock that guy across the football. Okay? Alright, for the trail guy right here. Okay? All right, I'm going to get to this in a second, okay? If the backside linebacker overlaps play side, he U-turns and walls them out. So if I'm running the guy, I got to knock across the ball, backside linebacker overlap, I U-turn, okay? If he sits and holds backside, once I knock that guy across the football, I'm sprinting the hip, and I'm blocking him on a 1-by-1 off the body, aiming point and aim, okay? So that's kind of that, just a diagram of it. Okay. Now this play pisses me off. Okay, this is the first play of the game. This D coordinator is one of my really good friends. I love running the ball down his damn throat. Okay, we line up in the Maryland Isle the first play of the game. We're running double pound right here. We got a smoke if we're all out 0. Our quarterback, who's making $500,000, doesn't hand the ball off and thinks he's throwing a post on the first play of the game. And watch this combo right here. We're running it to the double pound to the left right here. Right? Watch this combo. He's back there jacking the ball off. Look at it. But great back block by the center. See how he's getting moving. Now he climbs and refits. Right? Don't come off of it till you knock him across the ball. Now, Boyko, the left tackle, I want him lower. He's 6'8" guy. You know, it's hard for him on those targets with some of those guys, but I would still like to see him hit that guy lower. Backside linebacker overlap, so we U-turn him. The guard has nobody to block. Like I said, we don't even have to block the play side linebacker. He fits over the top, right? We don't have to block him. But we go from having an explosion on the first play of the game to me breaking shit on the sidelines over there. And now we're running to the left right here. Okay, got our 2x2 block. Okay, got to knock him across the ball. Right, got to knock him across the ball. Still like to see him be lower, right? But we get him knocked across the ball. It's an ISO situation for the puller, right? It's an ISO situation for the puller. Can't get spilled, right? Tailback trusted, right? Stay where? I don't know why he's trying to cut outside the inside leg. Stay trusted. Stay inside leg, right? And it won't do you any injustice. Still right. He's a good player. I just wish he you know, if he would have just hit the inside leg, he is still running. So right here, same thing. We got a 2 technique, right on the front side, right? Boom. Knock him across the ball. Knock him across the ball. Knock him across the ball. Puller's way too damn fast. This is from 2021. He's way too fast. He needs to slow down, right? Kick out, lost a little bit, but refit it.
Is this
Right.
a 75% situation for your guard?
Yes. Yes. Yep. Same. This is one. Days of Thunder rule, man. Days of Thunder's rule, right? Trust it. Blow through the smoke and trust you're going to come out clean on the other side. Watch all this jump cutting and all this shit. Blow through the smoke. Trust you're going to come out clean on the other side. Trust it, man. Days of Thunder. So here's us running power read, I think. We run this off of power read. In my opinion, this is the best way if you run power read to run it. Keeps you away from the read key, eliminates mesh charge, right? Okay? But the puller's bad right here. Not a great combo. The post guy's a little high, or excuse me, trail guy is. 64's hands outside the framework, don't like that. But what? It's an ISO situation. ISO situation, if I'm the pulling guard, my eyes should be on what? The play side linebacker. Right? So right here, if he's, I don't know what he's looking at, if he just same foot, same shoulders, 53, our quarterback walks in the end zone for a touchdown, right? ISO situation. ISO situation. All right, not too bad. I'm going to get to, everybody got to get just, I'm going to get to some more clips so we can get through everything. Oh, and I'm going to show this one. Is this the one? No. But here's a good one. Right? What's the tackle still got to do versus 3-3 stack right here? Still want us to what? Aim at the near hip. And here's why. Watch the nose slant. Turns into a deuce on the run. That's why we still teach that guy to aim at the near hip, right? Versus 3 down, 5 technique fronts. Right? That's why he still wants to aim at that near hip. Turns into a deuce on the run. Right? Trying to find one up.
Coach, take your time. Nobody going after you. Be here all night.
Well, I didn't know how thirsty you guys were.
Is there any particular reason you guys like the quarterback to reverse out when the back's in the dot?
Yeah, well, that's a question for my former co-OC. You know, we just, you know, hides the ball a little bit, and you know, we'll do by game plan. It depends on how much play action stuff we have in. We'll reverse out and then him just show pass, or we'll just boot him out. I don't like booting him out as much, to be honest with you, because what's the nature? I don't like him booting to where I'm trying to cut the ball back to, if that makes sense, right? On this play, right? So here's my. If I was down south, I'd run it out of this formation every week, right? Okay? We run power read out of this formation where these two guys are arcing the lead and he's running the jet sweep. Right here, we're just kicking out and faking jet sweep by the 27, right? This is one of my favorite ways of running. Right? Puller is too fast and too wide. Too fast and too wide. But I just want to put that on there because it's one of my favorite ways to run it. All right, 2x2 blocks, backside shade, right? And And that's our style of play right there. Why? I just want to see this one. 67 didn't block him worth of shit, but at least he finished the guy. All right, now, if you get stuck, stay stuck, we've already talked about that, right? It turns into duo form. Let's see that on tape, right? Let's see that on tape. And Coach, if you want the slides, I can send them to you.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's your get stuck. I don't know what the guard's doing. See his eyes? He should hold the vertical line now. I didn't get any vertical movement. I'm going to hold the vertical line, and it turns into duo form now. If I get stuck, you get no lateral movement, right? So now the guard reason to get stuck, stay stuck. Because watch him snap his eyes back to the backside linebacker, right?
So what does he do wrong here now, Coach?
I just don't like his eyes. See, he knows it's a get stuck, stay stuck. Anytime it's get stuck, stay stuck, I know I'm working to the backer over me now, right? So I should just hold and strain and hold that vertical line, and my eyes should not be backside. Yeah. All right. Same thing. I don't know what 61 is doing. Right? GM made me play in this game. It was his boy. Right? It's a get stuck, stay stuck scenario. Right? It should be get stuck, stay stuck right now. See the guard reason is get stuck, stay stuck all day. Right? Can't get spilled. Right? Now, if we do a better job on the gap seal funnel on the backside, don't let 98 play back over the top. A little better play, but it was 2nd and 4. Got what we need.
One more time, Coach.
Yes, sir.
And that's a situation your guard does not, he stays.
Stays, right? Boom, I fit it. I'm getting no lateral movement. Boom, I'm holding the vertical line now. Like I said, we used to teach it 2 ways. And I just said that I like this way better.
He hadn't pulled out of this position.
Yeah.
I said, he was back and forward. Yeah.
So watch this right here. I don't know what you call it. They got one techniques, the mic and the B gap, right? Hey, so now we get 2 1-by-1 blocks, both of them stuck. Guard, don't ever pass up what? A gap. Take the A gap. Take the A gap. Right now. What are you doing? Right? And we actually got receivers blocking. I'm trying to block. If we hit this thing right here, we might score. Right? Never pass up the A gap. Never pass up the A gap. All right, let's get to some more. All right, here's the last one to get stuck, stay stuck. Even though we're running power read with the receiver right here, here's a great get stuck, stay stuck. That's a good get stuck, stay stuck. Work it vertical straight over the guy over you, just like duo. And let's not get into the Twitter debate about is it inside zone, is it duo? All right, backside shade. Okay, well, here's a backside shade that spikes front side. Okay, I'm missing a clip somewhere, but all right. Now here it is, right here. A backside shade, okay? All right, same thing. If I'm the trail guy, I'm still in a combination here. If that was a vertical combo, that guy would gallop and climb vertical, right? Okay? Well, on lateral, we're still getting above the guard, and we still got to knock that ball across. I'm still running to knock my shoulder to his rib, my backside hand to the hip, right? Okay? And the guard treats it, his footwork and aiming points the same as if he was in a 1-by-1 block, but he knows he's in a 2-by-2. All right, just shorten it up, okay? Backside shade, the spikes front side, we treat it just like a front side shade. Get lateral movement, knock him across the ball. If you don't, get stuck, stay stuck. Okay? Now, these are the ones I love. If they got a 3 technique slanting, he's already helping us knock him across the ball. He's already helping us knock him across the ball. Okay? All right, we've already seen some head up. Okay, so watch right here. They're going to slant. They're trying to run some type of boundary pressure, and they're slanting this 2-eye, and we're running pound to the right here. Right? We don't even have to knock him across the ball. He does it for himself. Right? The backside linebacker overlaps over the top. Puller can't get spilled. Right? Same foot, same shoulder. Wish he was lower. Shoulder below shoulder right there. But same thing, tailback. Don't get outside the inside leg of the pulling guard. Right? And great job with the double bump right here. I would have liked him to affect 12 a little more, but we get under and get away with it. and guys, our guys have bought into this play, man, because you'll see, we'll hit guys on this, and our guys, we have a signal where they want to keep running it. You see our guys running down the field, we hit a big play, pounds coming again the next play, right? Our guys have really bought into this play, right? This might be a little bit of a double, it's not really a double bump because 45 fits downhill, right? Okay, so still aim at 97's hip. If he's knocked across the ball, you're either sprinting the hip or you turning on 21. It's sprint to hit. I don't want him to slow down. If I wanted him to slow down, I would have called a vertical play. And duck to meter, this ain't a duck to meter play, right? We're sprinting to hit people, right? Pretty good job by the puller, right? Just wish this, like I said, the center's got to match the other down block, right? If he's going to be lazy, not get moving, get knifed off, that's on him. Play with more speed and violence. We should have a guy for two, but you see him down there. He thinks he got paid $300 just to catch footballs, I guess. And guys, this is why I love this play so much. If you saw, we're up 12 right here. There's about 2 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the game. We're trying to run the clock out, game over, and go drink some beers in the locker room, right? Okay? Our tackle is going to absolutely whiff in the deuce right here. We're not going to block the backside or the front side linebacker, and look what happens. We don't block. He absolutely whiffs. Terrible technique, right? Don't lead with even though we're sprinting, we still want to lead with our hands, right? But who is the ultimate corrector? The guard. Guard just made it right, and we hit it out the back door. That's why I love this play so much, because how many plays in football where your front side tackle whips on the front side deuce, you don't collect the play side linebacker, and you get 25 out the back door, right? I don't know of many. Same thing, aim at the near hip, still got to get them knocked across the football, right? Guards just got to trust it. Got to trust it. Tailback, trust it. Right? Hit it out the back door. All right, now, look where the kick out happened on this play. That's why he has to chase the play side hip. People know we're running this. I don't care, right? Who's going to be more physical, right? Who's going to play with more speed and violence? Hey, all right? The kick out's feet are off the ground. Can't block people with your feet off the ground. But what happened? Guard made him right. Ball hits all the way out the back door. And I'm telling you, that 2-eye does not expect that tackle. He thinks he's on a one-on-one island right now. That 2-eye is not expecting that tackle to come all the way across that guard's face and to try to block it. He's not. That's why you see, we get more knockdowns on 2 eyes in this play than anything. Because that 2-eye is not expecting that tackle to come all the way down and to double team him when he's a 2-eye, he's on the front side of a run, right? Boom. Now he's not expecting it. He's not expecting it. And that guy's an undersized player in our league, that left tackle. He's a very undersized player in our league, right? Run off the ball, speed and violence. And this is a hold and bounce backside scenario, right? And like I said, center, you better damn get moving or you're getting rolled up on. Same thing, 2-eye, boom, knock him across the ball, sprint to hit, wide jump around, look like you're doing the Super Bowl shuffle with the 85 Bears, right? Stay on your track, trust it, sprint to hit, block him how you found him. You got a lot. And let's get to some double bumps. All right, here's one more. Let's go to this 4 down. Right, center gets a little off balance, but this 2-eye loops, right? So the center's just going to go to the backside linebacker, leave him for the puller. Can't get spilled. He's a little too wide, right? He's not patient enough right here. Backside looper, leave him for the puller. Maryland I. Hate 27 right here. He's supposed to force the double bump. 27 is supposed to force, he's supposed to force the double bump, right? And insert inside the kick out. Right? Ball, if receiver blocks, it's even bigger game. All right, double bumps. Let's look at some double bumps. Hey, real quick, I'm trying to get through this, guys. Sorry, I'm going a little over. All right. So right here, here's the tackle what? He got stuck. The way he's not riding. Guard's got to make it right. Got to double bump it. When we double bump this, ideally we would want to near shoulder strike this and knock him back into the B gap across the tackle's face. Because where's the guard know the ball's going? Inside of him, right? Inside of him. Okay? And this is one that tailback's too wide with his initial pass, right? Too wide, right? He's too wide, okay? And this is one, just trust it. Just trust your initial thing, right? But we split it through there because what? The guard made it right, and we knocked the nose across the ball.
Coach, talk about your left guard, the U-turn here.
Okay, yeah. So anytime the guy that, like, so right here, I would have preferred they ID this as 3 down. I would prefer they ID this as 5 down and turn this into a 1-by-1 scenario, right? Back, down, down, right? Because they ID it as 3 down, he clubs this. I don't call it ace. I call it club. Because we have a base call. I used to call it ace. Ace, deuce, trade. I don't call it ace anymore because we have a base call and they thought they heard base and it screwed up the whole play. But so this is what we call clubs now. Okay? So they clubbed it, so they put the double team in between the center and the guard right here. But if they, with the clubs, so they ID for whatever reason, if they ID this as 3 down, they technically are working this combo to the high guy because there's no overhang presence to work this to, right? Okay? So they're gonna boom. Now I'm gonna U-turn for the high linebacker, right? I'm gonna U-turn. If you run, I'm telling you, you put defenses in so much conflicts if you run traditional vertical gap scheme run. Like, it's just, they don't know how to fit it, man. And that's why I fell in love with this play, because like I said, there ain't a lot of people run this stuff, right? And I wanted something unique, right? I wanted to be a little different, right? Because for years, we inside zone, outside zone, traditional power, GF counter, GT counter, right? Some man rule runs with your dark plays and stuff like that, right? Defenses nowadays in football, especially, you know, at the higher levels, whether it's bigger high, I know a lot of people still run wing T and stuff, but a lot of the bigger high schools, and I grew up in the wing T, loved the wing T. I was a center in the wing T, right? I wasn't athletic enough to be a pulling guard, right? I had to put my ass at center, all right? But everybody's running the same stuff, right? Everybody's running inside zone. Everybody's running outside. And I just wanted something defenses really have to prepare for, that they don't have to fit every week. If you're a defensive guy and you want to know how to play inside zone, go watch CFL defense. They play inside zone better than any place I've ever been around because they see it so damn much. That's all they see, right? So I just wanted something that was different, right? Because the bottom line is this: when in pro football, right, it's probably like when y'all get in the playoffs, right? The margin for error gets smaller and smaller, right? By the round, the margin for error gets smaller. The players, they start to even out, right? Okay? So what's going to make us unique and different, right? If we got to go play a team that's just as good as us, maybe a little better, right? Okay, what's going to give us some type of advantage? Okay, well, is running inside zone 99% of the game going to help us when they are great at fitting it because they see it week in and week out, 25 snaps a game? So that's why I fell in love with the play, Coach. Because we got to be unique because in pro football, in whether it's the CFL or the NFL, right? I don't consider them other two leagues right now until they play more than 5 years, right? But the game comes down to the last 3 minutes in 99% of pro football games, right? So we gotta be really good at something and gotta be unique, and so to try to give us a competitive advantage. And because we didn't block this worth a damn. Guard's terrible. Footwork, he's high, he's not playing with speed and violence, the tackle whiffs, right? The kick out loss, double bumped it, stay inside the inside leg of the pulling guard, out the back door for a touchdown. against this team right here, we ran this play 30 times in a CFL game. We ran it on a 2-point play.
Coach, like, you got a 3 down with a front side overhang.
Uh-huh.
You'd rather have that center climbing versus a guard on clubs or clubs call or.
Yeah, if you're going 3-4 with overhangs.
Yes.
Yeah, so if we got 3-4 overhangs and it's not mint, right?
Yeah.
It's 5 techniques. We're gonna clubs it all the way back, right? We're gonna have a double. We're gonna have a double point. We're gonna double point. The clubs is always working the most backside of the double point. Yeah. Another double bump. Tackle loss, right? Color in the A gap, double bump. All right, let's see, a couple more. Kick out loss. I don't know what he's doing, trying to cut, I don't know, right? We didn't block this worth crap on the front side. You know, ball cuts out the back door. All right, let's get to some retrace. So here's some retraces, right? Okay. So here's short yardage. Here's the stack formation again. Short yardage, right? Look at that. There's a wreck in the A gap. There's nowhere to insert. We used to teach them to skate. Go back to where you came from. Just blow it up, right? And what's the tailback rule? Don't get outside the inside leg of the guard. Naturally got to go back there, right? Wreck in the A gap. Go back to where you came from. He didn't retrace here. I want him to retrace. Wreck in the A gap. Wreck in the A gap. Go back to where you came from. Look where if he would have retraced. Go back to where you came from. Now, tight end had an MA here. There's nothing to double bump to. The backside tight end should be on 30, right? There's nothing to double bump to because that's a box player. But he should have retraced right here. See, watch the guard retrace. Boom. Muddy, I'm unsure, boom, I just go back to where I come from, right?
If the nose cleared, he would probably end up in a double ball.
Correct.
If the nose doesn't
Correct.
clear, he's gonna retrace.
Yep,
that guy.
correct. And here's the thing, coach, and it's taken me a long time to get like I want this on this play, I want those pullers to make a decisive decision and live with it. So if they're wrong and I see it on tape, well, they didn't have the clear picture on tape that I have. I never get on those guys for inserting wrong, right? I don't, because I just think it'll muddy up their mind, and even though I want them to be patient and slow, but I want them to process what they're seeing fast. And I think if I yelled at them, because now I see it on tape, and like the last one before, hey man, I'm on tape, I just said, probably should have been a retrace right here. I'm not jumping on them, we talk through it because I don't want to cloud their mind. I want them to make decisive decisions and live with it. So here's where, this is before we were teaching retrace, right? This is before we were teaching retrace. Now there's a wreck in the A-gap highway. Kick outlaws, go back to where you came from. He would have retraced where the back end up seeing the backside cut and would have pinned that shoulder. I teach it as, when we're normal, same foot, same shoulder, can't get spilled. When it's a retrace, I teach it as opposite foot, opposite shoulder, right? And to wheel the guy, right? But that's the reason I put in retrace as an option, because I kept seeing it show up on tape.
So really, it shouldn't be clouded for the back, because if it's clouded for the guard, then his has
Correct.
to retrace.
Yeah, correct, yeah. See him trying, boom. I don't mind it. Because to me, I think he got caught. Is it an ISO? What is it? Right? Boom. I see an open gap. Boom. Play fast and get in. Right? And the back's got to naturally come back to you. Right? All right, guys. I hope I didn't go too fast for you. Guys, this is all my contact information. If you guys want these slides, I'm more than willing to send them to you. Like I said, sorry about that. There we go. Right? Just like I said, Saints, the team that, you know, really put this play on the map, in my opinion. They got a tremendous staff there. You know, I highly recommend if you ever get a chance to go visit there. Coach Ian's the head coach, a great guy. Tyler Roll, OC, is a tremendous human being. Like, he knows more about this play probably than anybody, because the OC of North Dakota State played running back and fullback at North Dakota State, was a GA, quality control, became the tight end fullback coach, now has been the OC. He's a lifelong Fargo guy. So I highly recommend, man. They do a great job there, man. But I hope you guys got something out of this. I wanted to bring you something unique, you know, that a lot of people aren't doing, right? Because like I said, it's been a great ad for us because it fit us already, right? And like I said, I wanted something unique where it caused the defense a lot of issues, right? If I'm running split flow inside zone, everybody in our league runs that, right? So our defenses, you know, they fit that stuff all the time. I just wanted something unique, right? And like I said, our guys have really bought into this concept, right? So, guys, I appreciate it. If you guys ever need anything, please feel free. I hope if you've never watched a CFL game, that you'll check it out. I'm telling you, it's a fun game. It is an exciting, fun game. It really is. It's a lot of unique stuff, and you know, the CFL's been playing since 1910. It's the longest run professional football in the world, right? And it is an absolute fun game. So we got guys from this state in our league. Like I said, we have Kyron Moore. You know, we've had a lot of guys from this state. So, like I said, guys, if you ever need anything, please feel free to reach out anytime.
Coach, I have a question.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. Any questions? Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, and this might not be an offensive line question. I'm curious about, you said that this is the best way to run power read, or you like to run power read this way. Can you walk through the backfield action?
Yeah, so we don't shuffle, right? We shuffle for years. Like in Saskatchewan, Cody Fajardo, who was the 3-year starter after Kaepernick at Nevada played in the pistol for all, this was the hardest thing, getting him out of the shuffling, right? Because he'd done it his whole life. Did it at Servite, did it at Nevada, right? And so we don't shuffle, right? Because the problem with power read when you shuffle, in my opinion, right? Okay, it takes you, yes, you ride it longer, but it gets you closer to the read key. And the closer I get to the read key, the more mesh charge and a mess up happens, right? So the reason I like to run it, because we drop step. So if we're running power read right? We just drop step with our quarterback, right? And we drop step, and he reads it back hip to front hip, right? Okay? All right, and so now his rule's the same as the tailback. He cannot get outside the inside leg of the pulling guard, right? And to me, it does a couple things. Like I said, it keeps you farther away from the read key, because that guy can what? He can slow feather it, maybe try to fall back in late, right? Because you're closer to him, because now you're hitting that more in the B gap with the quarterback. If it was a gray area read for the quarterback, right? And it's also keeping you further from the place on linebacker, right? So that's why I like it.
Do you change your timing on the snap?
No.
Okay.
No, we just, same thing with the mesh point. The guy can't move to the quarterback that catches the football.
So that fullback, when you're in that like wishbone look or whatever it was, where he was saying like it.
Yeah.
I saw him blocking what I thought would be the read key.
Yeah, because we're running pound there. We run pound there, but we'll also tag our jet read, where now he knows the arc and bypass it, right? But we marry those two plays together out of that formation, right?
That's a nasty formation.
Yeah, we run a lot of different stuff. We run our vertical game out of that with tight ends and stuff, and like I said, because we do a lot of stuff that, like, when I was in SAS, that we're going to do in Edmonton now, that not a lot of people in our league do. Like, we play with more fullbacks than anybody in the league, right? Most teams in our league only carry one fullback. And last year at SAS, we carried 3, right? Because we ran so much of that stuff, right? So, but that gets your power read question answered. Okay. I just like it because it keeps that guy away from all that shit, right? You know, and I remember back in the day, when Auburn was running it so well with Cam Newton, they got in, I don't remember if it was the SEC championship game or the national championship game, and Cam was just getting destroyed on mesh charges because he was shuffling, and they beelined the arrow right at his near hip, and they just said, go cause a wreck. We don't care if you tackle a quarterback, run back, go cause a wreck. And it was just boom. It was just a nasty collision over and over again. And the way we teach it, if we get mesh charge, it's an automatic pull. If we get any type of mesh charge, it's an automatic pull. And now we teach the guy, whether it's the tailback or the receiver, he's just got to blunt the mesh charger. Just blunt the mesh charger, right? And it just keeps him away. The same thing as the front side A gap, the back side A gap, play for that guy. So to me, it puts a more conflict on the defense because I have a tighter option that's going front side A, the back side A, then it's going B, right, and a wide option, right, so. Yes, sir.
Real quick. So you're getting a ton of, they're coming to try to spill that.
Oh, yeah.
thing out. How do you protect that? Like, just, he's just
Well,
gonna
we
hit it, or-
speed about, well, we got plays off of it, right?
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
your, like?
So we'll, you know, so we have an outside zone concept, of course, we're not blocking down, but we have an outside zone concept we call Zulu, right? That's kinda like, it's a similar open side, like the 49ers run a lot of Zorro. I came up with a Zulu to the open side, where that guy is now, if it's a 4 down front, is inside hip protect, basically him and that guy are the front side tackle in combination, right? We do that, we'll run flip plays, where we're showing the play, he's going to kick him out and bypass him, we fake it and pitch it, right? We do that. We'll run dick 'em option out the back door too, right? And even though that's not helping protect the kick out, we'll step down the tackle, he'll go seal the backside linebacker, we'll seat it, and now we're running dick 'em option out the back door, right? We do that. We'll run some loaded pin and pull stuff, right, with that guy, where he's just gonna load the guy. I tell him to cheat up just a little bit, right, but now we're gonna load and pin him. And the other thing, the biggest thing we got, we run our vertical game off the same thing, and we're just gonna, boom, he wants to play across your face, don't give up penetration, try to get your ankles out of the backfield, and we're gonna bounce the ball side off our vertical power, right? We try to marry those two together as much as we can out of the same looks that week. Now, I will say this, on vertical power, if you're short, you always wanna be short on the backside, right? Okay, on this play, if I'm ever gonna be short, I'm gonna be short on the front side, right? Because of the nature of the play. So there is some game plan conflicts at times because of that rule, right?
All right, Coach, I appreciate it. Hey, guys, like I mentioned earlier, we have a social, if you didn't get one of these, the address is on the bottom, it's a Fractal Brewing Project, it's like 5 minutes down the road. If I don't see you there tonight, we'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. when Coach Yeager is gonna be talking about offensive line leadership, so. All right, well, I guess we're done for the night, I'll see you guys at Fractal.
I appreciate it, Coach. I've always heard a lot about you. I was with Coach Clark for a year, being 14. You better stay alert, you know, and you gotta become the master of trying to ride one horse with 2 asses, you know? You know, but I tell you what, I was enjoying it. I was I really.
So last year, those were similar.
Yeah.
Coach C's is not quite the same. Coach C's is getting power. This is, it's so interesting, so this is. Yeah.
That's where I stayed there, I stayed between Greenland and Orange Beach. So, I have a house in Greenland, I have a place down there.
That's where to me.
I grew up in I played in Fort Bell, I played in the private school. Yeah, but, I played, private school for, my coach, probably my last couple of years was a guy named Sam. But when I was growing up in Greenwood, it was like Jermaine Crenshaw era, and Michael Fagan, and guys, yeah, they had some dudes back then. They had some dudes,
Did you have McKellar, we got a safety city.
I know the name. I remember the name,
So that's why.
yeah. I remember the name,
Three guys rolls and safety down.
Yeah.
You know, I was in there.
And you can pattern match them through, you know, like the way the same way people do it too.
Yeah.
Now, I have heard that like is, what's that recruit stuff?
It's all good.
Saving pattern matches,
Oh, I appreciate
one
it.
high pattern match and stuff, and I've heard it's
Oh, I
fun.
appreciate it.
But I know people do it.
Josh,